So day 7 of Browns training camp has wrapped up, and Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb have returned to full team play. So how did they look? How did they perform? And what does that say about this team overall? Well, let's talk about it. Real quick before I get into this coverage, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload. All of that stuff really helps this channel grow and get bigger, and also helps me get you more content and make sure that content that I'm giving you gets to you. So make sure you do those things. Without further ado, let's talk about day 7 of Browns camp. And today was an interesting day. Again, you had Myles Garrett come back. You had Nick Chubb come back. Those are two of the biggest dogs, the two best players, quite frankly, on this Cleveland Browns team. They came back to full practice. Now, it wasn't padded practice in full pads. They were in shells, but not full pads. So not a full go kind of contact situation that'll probably happen tomorrow and the day after. No David Njoku for whatever reason, and no Donovan Peoples-Jones. But there were still a lot of interesting things to glean from what happened in this practice. And we're going to start with the defense. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about on the defense is Myles Garrett won on this play. He got this sack here, but then watch, B.J. Goodson got this interception here. Now, that play would have been blown dead. Myles Garrett was just like waving in the face of Baker Mayfield at that point. So it's kind of like a free play situation to see what happens. And then B.J. Goodson made the play across here. And that's good. That's B.J. Goodson making a play, and that's Myles Garrett obviously getting back there for a sack, looking like Myles Garrett. But the guy I want to talk about even more, because Myles Garrett kind of looked like himself today, is B.J. Goodson. He's had a good first week of camp, and today was no different. He actually, I think, had his best day of camp. He made a lot of plays. He was in the right spots. Sometimes he got beat, sometimes he didn't, but when he was there, he made a play. And that's what you want to see from the veteran linebacker. Now, again, I wasn't the biggest fan of B.J. Goodson when they brought him in or when they came into camp. So I am pleasantly surprised by what I am seeing from B.J. Goodson, because he looks like he's playing at the level that I would have hoped the veteran to play. And I didn't think that was going to be the level that B.J. Goodson was going to be playing at. When you speak of the linebackers, you also have to talk about Taki, who's had a good camp and also had another good day. Not one of his spectacular days, but a good day, made some plays, got in there. Taki and B.J. Goodson looks like a good enough combination in the middle. Still want a veteran, still need a veteran, but this doesn't look like it's going to be the massive bleeding hole that it looked like it was going to be once Mack Wilson went down. I've been surprised by B.J. Goodson. I've been surprised by Sione Taki now. We have to see what this looks like against a real team in a real NFL game, but so far, so good. Other players who had some good moments or made some plays today, Terrence Mitchell has been having an excellent camp. He continues to have an excellent camp, made this interception on this play. Terrence Mitchell, I really like him. He was underrated last year. I think he's one of the better corners on this team. I also think he's one of the better corners in the division. It's just that Greedy and Denzel are also really good, so he doesn't get to start. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Terrence Mitchell, seeing that they're going to run this 4-2-5, seeing that they're going to have a ton of DBs out there all the time. Where are they going to find a place for Terrence Mitchell? Because they need to find a place, because he's been playing so good that you can't continue to just hide him as a backup or a second unit guy. I think you need to find some packages where you can let him kind of do his thing and let this secondary use that depth that they have, especially when you don't have depth at the interior tackle positions, especially when you don't have depth at the linebacker position. I think guys like Terrence Mitchell, and hopefully if Kevin Johnson can come back and play this year, are the reason that the Browns defense could be better than people expected them to be. Jordan Elliott, the rookie from Missouri, has been having a good camp so far, made a play. Jacob Phillips also made a play today. And then Denzel Ward, he's been having a good camp. He's been looking like back to form. Denzel Ward made a good play here on OBJ. So overall, it was a good day for the defensive secondary and a lot of the things that they did in pass coverage. Again, you can't tell a lot from run coverage when you're in kind of shells and it's not physical and full go. Even when they're in pads, it's hard to tell what's going on with the run game. But as far as the secondary goes, your linebackers made some plays and your secondary made some plays. And that's what you want to see out of both those units. So overall, I would say a good day here. And real quick, before I get into the offense, I want to make sure I differentiate between, the offense just looking flat bad and the defense benefiting from that and the defense actually looking good. And when I say the defense looks good, it's because they're they're making plays. It's because they're getting to spots that they normally shouldn't be in, and they're making plays. If they were just getting places and the offense was giving them the ball, I would not be saying the defense is having a good day. So when I say the defense is having a good day, that's because they made plays. It doesn't necessarily make an indictment on the offense because it's the NFL. Everybody is going to make plays eventually, but the good teams make the most plays, and that's what you want to see at a training camp. It doesn't matter which unit wins each day. It matters that each unit is making plays, and that's what you saw today, and that's what you saw the day before, and that's why I think these are positive signs for the Browns coming up here. Now, let's get into that offense. This offense right now is like a unfinished mold of clay, because right now it really only has its basic mold and shape. It doesn't really have any detail, it doesn't have any color, it doesn't have any coats of paint or any kind of gloss over top of it to make it shiny yet. So on a quick glance, if you just look at this offense just briefly, it looks bad, right? It doesn't look good. It looks sloppy. It looks like there's lacking detail. It just looks discombobulated. It doesn't look quite right. But once you look long enough to realize what they are trying to do with the mold and what they are actually trying to mold itself, you can see the potential. You can see the beauty, because this offense has its moments of beauty. And some people may say, hey, how's that any different than what Freddie Kitchens did last year? His offense looked unfinished throughout camp all last year. You could say the same exact thing. What I will say is that Freddie didn't have a mold. He had all the tools in the world, right? He could have made the most beautiful mold in the world, but he didn't. He just used the tools, not the mold. There was no vision behind what the Browns were trying to do last year. At best, it was discombobulated. From game to game, it looked like they were trying to do different things. It never looked like there was one uniform ideal on how this is going to look. And that's why the offense last year looked sloppy all season, looked unfinished all season, never reached its potential because it was just a gathering of tools. It wasn't a mold. And that's why I think the Browns offense actually has a better chance to start the season not looking as unfinished, as unpolished as the offense did last year, despite the lack of time that this offense is going to have. Because from day one, you could see the mold. You could see what they're trying to do. And once you have the mold, you're much further along in building a cohesive unit than you are when you're just trying to put things together like Freddie did last year. So that is why I am generally more optimistic about what this offense is going to do. Not just because I think Kevin Stefanski is a better coach than Freddie Kitchens. I think that because you can physically see the mold. You can see the tools. The tools are definitely there, and we'll talk about the tools first. But the mold is there, and I like the mold that I'm seeing. But let's talk about the tools, right? Because you have this burst from Nick Chubb, which you would like to see. Nick Chubb looking like he's back into his form after missing a few days of practice. And when you add that with having a Kareem Hunt who looks spectacular, I can't put words on it how spectacular Kareem Hunt has looked, but the fact that both of those guys look like they're playing at their best form, that's amazing. You have Jarvis Landry, reliable there. He's going to be there, be dependable. That's what he's been his first 2 years in Cleveland. It's what he should continue to be. You have Odell. They're just looking like Odell again. Look how fast he is. Look how he's accelerating. Look how quick and nimble. Look how much fun he's having right now compared to what he was doing last year. He didn't look like he was having much fun. He wasn't practicing much last year. This year, completely different story. And then you have a glue guy like Austin Hooper, who isn't going to be the flashiest piece, but he's always where he's supposed to be. Even Rashard Higgins shine. Jedrick Wills didn't get murdered by Myles Garrett today. That's a good sign. Like, he didn't own Myles Garrett by any means. Myles did his thing, but he didn't get murdered by him, which is great for a rookie. Any rookie that doesn't get murdered by Myles Garrett the first time they go up against him, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. And again, the tools are fine. But we got excited about the tools last year. We let the tools burn us last year. And I'm not going to let the tools just make me excited. I'm not going to just see the nice tools and the shiny pieces and get excited about it. I want to see the mold. And again, the mold is what has me hopeful, because you look at this play action boot to Austin Hooper, and you start to see what they're trying to mold. And then you see something like this, right? This beautiful play where they have Baker Mayfield off the bootleg with this beautiful footwork set, throws this beautiful ball to Austin Hooper, who's wide open. And that's it. That's what you want to see. That's the mode. That's what this offense is looking to do. That's the identity of this team. And that's why there is more hope for a lot of people for this team to look better. I understand the people who got burnt last year who aren't going to get excited about anything they see in training camp, especially without pads. I fully understand that. I don't blame you for being in the position that you are in. But to me, I'm going to try to look at this season in a vacuum and just evaluate what I see on the field and compare it to what I saw last year. And what I see on the field is a much more cohesive unit, is a mold of an offense, not just a collection of individual pieces. And I think that's going to make a worlds of difference come the regular season. I could be wrong. This could be the same mess that it was last year, and people are going to rag on me in the comment section all 2020 or 2021 or whatever it is, and I could be wrong. I'm willing to admit that I'm not perfect here. I was wrong last year. But what I will say is, while last year we were going off optimism and the individual pieces that were here, the foundation of this offense and the foundation of what's getting people excited in training camp about certain elements of this offense is a lot more solid. And that has to mean something in the NFL. But that's my thoughts on what happened in day 7 of Browns camp. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I want to know from you, what element of this offense do you think is going to really take the league by surprise? Is it going to be the run game? Is it going to be the pass game? Is it going to be Odell and Jarvis? Is it going to be somebody like Rashard Higgins or Donovan Peoples-Jones? Let me know the surprise piece of this offense that you think is going to be one of the main things we talk about at the season that we aren't expecting right now. Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, guys, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and have a good night.